Hello everyone. "13 Black Knights are scattered around Dark Souls, each one either holding an axe, a sword, a halberd, or a greatsword. The halberd is by far the best. Every Dark Souls speedrun latches onto the halberd like a baby to a breast. But have you ever stopped to wonder what the worst Black Knight weapon is? Well, keep watching and you'll find out in 3 seconds. Yep, it's the greatsword. Now don't get me wrong, this thing packs a punch, but look how long this thing takes to swing. So, the question is, can you beat Dark Souls with the worst Black Knight weapon? Let's find out. Our challenge begins as the hunter, who starts off with the best strength and dex stats, which is very important for getting the stat requirements for the heavy ass sword we're about to acquire. We also pick ginger hair, and despite what South Park says, we do end up eventually getting some souls. We pick up our key, escape the cell, steal the dying man's last drink, and pick up our bow and arrows, which will come in handy later. Now though, we fight the asylum demon. He's not dead here, he actually faked his death, so the run's not forfeits. Please continue watching. We're then carried away to Firelink Shrine. We pick up free humanity, which also comes in useful later, and make our way down to the New Londo ruins for a fleeting visit. We then use the master key, which was picked as a starting gift, grab some souls, and make our way through the Valley of Drakes. Sneak past the sleepy dragon. Yoink! And squidge past these blue boys to get to an elevator that takes us one step closer to the undead parish. We light this bonfire, grab this shield for stamina recovery, and dodge this halberd Black Knight. Make our way up even further and make sure to put Peter on edge with some animal abuse. We finally make it to the Darkroot Basin, dodging the plant boys and face off with the Titanite Chad.
Nope.
We then meet Andre, and definitely don't challenge him to a boxing match or anything like that.
You've got some nerve.
From the heavens! Oh! Away now! Cover! 1, 2, 3, Riddle retains!
Head upstairs, light the bonfire, head up some more stairs, and walk towards the church. Pick up the Firekeeper's soul, which we use for more humanity, and head out the back. The ball would definitely prove to be troublesome. We're finally at the stairs leading to the Black Knight. We have a 1 in 5 chance of getting the knight to drop his greatsword, but I feel like luck is on our side. As this is the only Black Knight with a greatsword, him not dropping the sword meant that I had to make a new character each and every time the greatsword didn't drop. That meant doing the same route, which would take 15 minutes a pop, and the enemies were as frustrating as ever. Death after death, attempt after attempt, until finally... Oh, well that can't be good. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, so these are the stat requirements for the greatsword. Even Superman would have to two-hand it. We popped some souls, but we still don't reach the minimum requirements, so that leaves only one thing. Grinding. So, after a lot of off-screen grinding, we finally meet the minimum requirements for our greatsword. And this is where the game and the fun begins.
Have it.
Uh-oh.
So we go through Undeadburg, show the Black Knight the weapon we borrowed from his friend.
'Tis but a scratch.
trek downstairs for the anti-fat roll ring. We get to the bottom and show Havel that our sword is bigger than his.
Oh, my back!
We equip the ring, head upstairs, and head to the first eligible boss of the run. Now let's see how bad this thing really... Yo. Moving on, we make it out of the ramparts, travel down the hot bridge, play hide and seek with the Drake, and completely miss his tail before reaching the shrine bonfire. We then open the gate and make our way through the undead parish until we finally reach a bonfire. At least we're safe here.
1, 2, 3 riddle retains!
We upgrade our weapon before making our way back upstairs, across the bridge and through the church. Make our way up, scooch past some hollows,
I'm just gonna scooch in right here if you don't mind.
and make our way to the back of the church to retrieve the second ring of our run. We make our way back to the hollows, barely escape alive, climb a couple ladders, say hello to Darren. I'm Darren. Hi. And head through the fog gate to the infamous, relentless, twin, double gargoyle, and they're gone.
It's gone.
We ring the first bell of awakening, homeward bone, and once again make our way down. Finally face off with Titanite Chad. And make our way down even further to the Darkroot Basin.
The plunging attack is the most reliable move in the game. Thank you, Dark Souls.
Before making our way through the secret entrance of Blighttown, we continue down further and further and further and further until we reach the bonfire and here we go. Like I was saying, we finally take a little rest. We finally face off against Quelaag. Luckily she's slow and clunky, making our weapon perfect for this scenario. We defeat her, ring the bell of awakening, open up an illusionary wall, and make the ultimate sacrifice. Oh, we also get infected because her follower wasn't very happy that we killed her, so there's that. We then make our way up, being careful not to be hit by this toxic blow dart hollow. Let's try that again. We be careful not to be hit by the toxic blow dart hollow and continue our way up back to the undead parish. We then traverse Sen's fortress, past the crocodile thingies, past the narrow walkway, dodge the wizard croc, past the ball of shame, up past the arrow traps, and we dodge through the ball, proving the laws of physics. We dodge the second arrow trap and make our way up and up and up, and finally balance across the thin beam, past the swinging pendulum, up to the top of Sen's fortress, and finally get some respite at the secret bonfire. Whew! Making our way over to the Iron Giant, we actually go upstairs first to temper tantrum Tom up here, who won't be throwing any bombs at us this run through.
No, I'm getting angry with all... What's wrong with you? I got 50 quid.
Now it's time to face Iron Man. We make it to Anor Londo and give our keeper soul to the Firekeeper, and then we kill her. Moving on, we then move on to the elevator, and... for God's sake. Anyway, we move on to the support beam and into the window, climb along the rails of the light fixtures and parkour our way into safety. We then pull a lever accessing deeper Anor Londo. and all of its deep and dark secrets. Moving forward, we make quick work of the tall boys and glide past the spike boys with elegance and ease. Just the Silver Knights to go now, and this should be easy as they only... Anyway, okay, let's go back into the game. Yeah, this should be... We travel all the way back, finally get past those Silver Knights and rest up, level up, and take the stairs and the shortcut straight to the hall and pass a suspicious room.
Nope.
We don't go straight towards Steen and Smo, instead we give the giant blacksmith a visit and buy some twinkling titanite for our weapon. Now the only thing left to do is enter the boss room. This boss fight went a lot better than I was expecting. Ornstein usually gets an upper hand when I use bigger weapons, but today they were pushovers. Smo stood at the back more like a referee, and when Ornstein was down, Smo was a piece of cake. Uh-oh. I probably could have beaten him with the Guitar Hero in all honesty. But trust me, it only gets harder from here on out. We go up the lift, gain access to the huge chest and break the illusion. We get the Lord Vessel, place it, and travel back to the start of Anor Londo. With Anor Londo now plunged into darkness, the descent ahead looked foreboding, but I'm sure it'd be fine. And the boys ahead definitely wouldn't be any trouble.
I'm just gonna scooch in right here.
Nope.
It's okay, I got away from him. Ah, he's behind me, isn't he? We exit the game in the nick of time. Get the bonfire lit, and try to roll through what should be easily breakable chairs.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
Anyway, we make our way up the elevator and perform a tactical death. Wake up, kill the Guardian Croc, go down below, open the door, rush back up, exit the prison, twist a few wheels, open up some secret doors, and climb down a huge ladder, and we finally make it to the Great Library bonfire. Back through the secret room we go. We pull another lever, go down more stairs, and enter the Crystal Cave. For the first and definitely not the last time. Muscle memory has imprinted a path in my head so I can traverse this cave with my eyes closed. We make it to the end, past the clams, and fire our bow and arrow we picked up earlier as quick as possible to keep out all of the clams. Hello? It's very dark in here. I can't see. It didn't work. And we died. And my wife left me. And the kids. And a dog. So round 2 is a little more successful. With no clams, the boss fight becomes a cakewalk and the greatsword is very useful. Once Seath is defeated, we teleport to the Undead Parish, buy the crest of Artorias, make our way down the Darkroot Basin for the last time, put the crest in, make it through the woods while dodging the woodland critters, and we finally make it to Sith. I'll make this quick. With Sith now dead, we take the ring, teleport to Firelink Shrine, travel down the elevator and enter New Londo Ruins. We pick up some transient curse which allows us to beat up some ghosts, and the rickety bridge leads us to the ghost town. We mainly sweep past them but use transient curse for the more annoying ghosts, which block the way. We walk along the narrow path and strategically exit the game, reload and shoot this poor unsuspecting gentleman until he dies. He then telepathically sends us his key, which lets us drain New Londo. Now that's done, we can now fight the... I said, now that that's done, we can now fight the four kings. This one wasn't easy. I wasn't doing enough damage and more kings kept spawning every time one would fall, leaving 2 in the arena at all times, but eventually they succumb. With the 4 kings down, we travel back to the Princess of Chaos' secret bonfire, make our way over to Caesar's discharge, steal his pajamas and encourage him to jump. Yes, finally, now the easy part. Okay. Thanks to Dark Souls' connectivity issues, we had to fight Ceaseless the old-fashioned way.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
Once he is down though, we travel further down, passing the Capra Demon and rest at a new bonfire. We then travel past the Fat Boys until we fight the Demon Fire Sage. Easy peasy. Passing him, we then move on to the Centipede Demon. Also easy peasy. We then equip the ring so we can walk on lava, travel past the legs and to another secret bonfire and mentally prepare ourselves for the worst boss in the game. Spoiler alert, I didn't mentally prepare enough. We make our way up to the bed of chaos, kill Izalith and make our way down. We destroy his first phase and his second, and then yeah. I died over and over. Shit. And over. And over and over. Finally, after countless attempts, I made it back into the depths of the bed of chaos, and despite being flung in the air, we beat it. I blame this sword for wasting 3 hours of my life. We're now on to the final Lord Souls. We travel back to Firelink through the graveyard and down to the catacombs and down to the first bonfire. We take out the Necromancer and remaining skeletons. Rest, head through the door we just opened and take the shortcut down the skeleton wheels. Passing them, we reach the hardest boss in the game. We then have to traverse the Tomb of Giants, blind. But again, muscle memory. We get to the first bonfire, rest once again, and ask Patches what the quickest way to the bottom is. That's not what I meant. We pick up a skull lantern and duly return the favour.
Well, let's just calm down. Ow!
We then scooch past these skelly dogs and make it out the other side of the Tomb of Giants. We run along the side of the walls, dodge arrows, dodge the pinwheel fakes, and finally drop down to Nito. Nito wasn't much trouble today as his attacks were perfect. I always wanted him to use his AoE attack to take out the other mobs. And that's exactly what he did. And that's how we collect the final Lord Soul. We finally feed all of the Lord Souls to the Lord Vessel and make our way to the kiln of the First Flame, dodge the Black Knights and make our way to Gwyn. Gwyn's boss fight is fairly trivial. No matter what weapon you have, you can always abuse his parryable attacks, and just like that, we complete Dark Souls with the worst Black Knight weapon.
My lord, bless thy safe return. We are here to serve your highness.
Hello, I still can't see anything. Hello? Hello? In conclusion, the Black Knight greatsword isn't the most ideal weapon, but it's still overpowered as hell, which just shows you how ridiculous the Black Knight weapons are. It's also a lot of fun to do things like this.
Have it.
Thanks for watching my first YouTube video. If you enjoyed and want to see more challenges, please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. Goodbye.